players have to announce, or both teams have to announce their players, and then the map is chosen by the losing team. So just wanted to let you guys kind of be aware of the format here. But let's get into this, man. TBT is up first here. Our player in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, the red Terran from Imperative Gaming, it is Groovyman.
And his opponent to kick off this TVT and Clan War, the teal Terran from Clan Rival, it is Ninkazi. So I did see from looking at their banners just loading into game that Ninkazi is GM, at least at the moment. Groovyman is a Masters. I've seen Groovyman in GM before, though. So both these players of very, very high caliber.
Just a Masters, or a GM wearing a Masters border or whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah. I think there's a huge distinction between like a Masters and someone who plays at the GM level, whether or not they're actually wearing the GM tag. So.
Yeah, man. Only so many spots in GM ladder, you know. So it comes and goes. But the point is that they are both very, very good StarCraft players.
Oh, yeah.
We do see pretty similar builds to start off here, but a little bit different barracks placements. So that's something I guess you could note about the game. Ninkazi deciding that he wants his barracks a little bit further back in his base to be safer. Groovyman going up for the wall a little bit.
Yep. I know you're excited about this as a Terran player, man. This is going to be some pretty high-level TVT, man. Maybe we'll see something new here. But yeah, I'm pretty excited that this is the way it begins, just because this is kind of a neutral map. It's not like a 4-player map where someone could get that really early advantage or anything. So I think this is a pretty good way to just kick things off here for the night. And I don't know if we mentioned, but we're throwing up $40 cash prizes too to the winner of this. So there is more of a bit on the line than just, hey, show up and play in a clan war. So not that money matters, but you know, they kind of always tend to play a little harder when they walk away with some cash at the end. Oh no, first blood.
I know, right? Nice there. He decided to pull off of the one depot to just wall it in with a quick other depot to make sure that he got the SCB. Pulled off, canceled, and then rebuilt it. So very nice by Ninkazi. Nice little micro moves there. Reaper coming across the map for Groovyman, though. Yep. We'll have to see what type of scout he gets off.
Bell the Conqueror joining us in chat. Says, glad you are still alive and kicking. Yeah, just barely, man. We are limping through the week. We had a really good tournament last night. Probably some of the best diamond level content we've ever had on the channel. I'm serious. I know some people kind of scoff at the idea of some good diamond level games, but that shit was pretty ridiculous last night, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of those series were just crazy.
There's a lot of mirror matchups, but they were really good mirror matchups. Yeah. As we're sitting in a TVT right now. I hope this will be as good as some of the games were yesterday, man. We do see a starport coming down from Ninkazi. Looks like he's going to switch that starport onto the tech lab, likely for a Raven or Banshee.
Man. Get those auto turrets in before they get nerfed, dude. Might as well get in there and try to get a little bit of aggression. Nah, I'm just messing around, but I'm assuming that's probably what it's for. Or the Banshee, as you said. I don't think there really is a wrong answer here. But he goes for the Raven, and it's immediately scanned. So,
you know, it's this is kind of nice, dude. And I was actually just about to say, you don't really. Does he cancel this, or does he just want?
Yeah, I was gonna say surely, right? No. That was just like to kind of make him kind of a juke or whatever.
That actually was super cool because he started up during that scan. He started up cloaks, so the tech lab's gonna be researching, and then after the scan stopped, he actually canceled it. So knowing that you wouldn't really research too much for the Raven at this point, he tried to, I guess, mind game. Yeah, whether or not it worked, I don't know, but he tried to mind game him.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Duke of Dango joining us in chat. La Cucaracha joining us in chat. Spooky as well. What's up, boys? Welcome, welcome. We got nothing but GM level content tonight, so it should be a pretty little action-packed hour or two of StarCraft. The first up is just a best-of-7 clan war, and then we got a grudge match tonight, too, so that should be pretty hype as well. I'm excited for that one.
Yep. So now that the Raven is out, the factory gets swapped onto that tech lab, tank coming out, and a medevac. Ninkazi's got a good amount of troops here, and with that medevac, he should be able to move across the map and try and find some damage. Meanwhile, Groovyman sitting back with the Cyclone and similar amount of Marines and a tank already out. So, you know, similar. Yeah, that Viking's going to be nice, man. Going to be able to shut down any sort of drops.
Yeah, in TVT, I feel like it's extremely important to get that air superiority or whatever. So I'm merely a diamond player or whatever, but I feel like that's really important to have, especially since you've already scouted the starport with the tech lab. Like, the mind game clearly worked, and he's preparing for that, so it is good to see. So, but he already has had his natural up and rolling for quite a while now, man.
Yeah, so we do see the CC from Ninkazi built, but it was up on the high ground, now being turned into an orbital. So, but as you said, Groovyman's been down there and mining, so, you know, a little bit braver, and fortune definitely favors the bold in this particular situation.
Yep. So the Raven passed right over the Marine. I'm not sure if you caught it, maybe out of the corner of his eye on the minimap there, but he might be aware that it's coming in. We'll have to see. Still no turrets up just yet, so it's going to be a while before he can really handle that. This auto turret might come in and find some devastating damage here. They can take out, what, 7, I think, if you don't pull?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it can take out a lot, man. It can take out a good number and then fly away and come back in, because it's pretty fast, too. We do see some drops coming over as well. That one Marine, I did see it, you know, being clicked and moved, so he did see those medevacs. You can see the other Marine trying to chase them down, and try and find those. That second Marine doesn't actually see them to confirm. This medevac is, or this Viking is in position here, so we'll get some shots off. Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he won't, man. He's just on a little patrol here, but yeah, he sees the aggression coming in, and at least he'll be able to defend it here. He has enough bio that I think he should be able to catch this here. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a juke here down to the natural. He's gonna unload too and actually go with it. Gets these siege tanks planted up, but they're planted in the fire of a tank already. So one of them gets cleaned up rather quickly, and then the drop kind of gets shut down from there. So it's kind of what happens when you drop into a siege tank or whatever. But you know, it happens.
It was really cool. Ninkazi came in and he dropped an auto turret on the high ground, and it actually soaked up a couple of tank shots there, which was really nice, so that he could like start to drop his units. But that second tank from Groovyman was not playing that. It started firing immediately on the medevacs. But Groovyman cleaned that up really, really well, and he finds himself in a commanding position with, you know, a huge army.
Yeah, both players dropping their CC2. Ninkazi's are already finished up, but Groovyman's will be here shortly. But it's looking like Groovyman might be gearing up for some aggression here. Or maybe he's just reposturing his army, but he's got a pretty sizable force, man. If you take a look at the supply, it's 94 to 74, so that's a pretty good chunk there. If he wanted to move across the map, he might be able to find some damage here, so...
And specifically, the army supply is 50 to 28 in favor of Groovyman. So I think it would be smart to at least poke across the map, see what type of damage you can do. But I can understand, especially in TVT, you know, not wanting to get dropped or anything like that. It's very hard, you know, if you don't have turrets up around your base. So it looks like he actually is going to, and at least clear out these rocks, but move out on the map. Superior tank number and Vikings definitely helps. So.
Oh, yeah, man. If he can actually get all of these tanks sieged up here, especially behind these rocks where this kind of awkward position is, I have a feeling this natural won't live too much longer. We'll have to see, man. I don't know. Because Ninkazi does have a tank of his own, he might be able to kind of defend this a little better. Okay, now a second tank joins the fight as well. That'll help out, but he's still severely beaten in tank count. Not that that's the only thing that matters, but, you know, that's a pretty important thing to keep an eye on here.
Yep, for sure. And let me confirm this. We don't see... Okay, actually, we do see 6 Vikings. They are just not out front, and it looks like Groovyman's just going to go for it. He's going to come in here, stim, and take out both those tanks, and with that, going to be able to... Wait, there's still one...
Yeah, unfortunately what happened there was Ninkazi actually had a drop loaded up. A majority of his units were up in that medevac, and then he just had to kind of unload them into Groovyman's army, and they all just kind of got destroyed from there. So this is looking very strong here from Groovyman. It's just a bit of an unfortunate timing there for Ninkazi. But now there's an insane amount of tanks down here. They can just kind of seize forward and push into not that much bio, really, to hold this. So.
Yep. Absolutely. It took me forever to realize, because he's teal, where that tank was. Like, those Marines cleaned up the 2 tank like outside of the natural, and then I didn't realize that there's this one down here by the 3rd. It's unsieged now, but
straight camouflage on this color map. I see.
And so I was like, how are those Marines still dying? But he eventually he brought down a lot of the Marines. This push, I think, would have been game ending if he hadn't been able to. But it looks like with these tanks coming up to the higher ground now, looking to get siege, SCVs being
SCVs just getting absolutely decimated. An entire line of them sent into a couple tanks and unfortunately met their demise. 27 of them going down. The Vikings are forced to beat land, and Ninkazi's trying to hold on here, but as we said, man, siege tanks OP, especially if they get planted up behind these rocks, which is exactly where he went. So, man, this is looking pretty strong here for Groovyman, especially taking out that many SCVs, dude. It's now 30 to 53 SCVs, so he gets to get his 3rd out there pretty safely and just kind of fall back and get a little further ahead here.
Yep, for sure. I like this. Making, you know, the damage has been done. You have a couple tanks still alive. Go ahead and bring them back. Make sure that, you know, you have those. You can always repair them, bring them back to full life. You know, don't want to leave them out there and accidentally get stemmed up on or dropped on or something like that when you're looking away. So, Groovyman going to return home now after that, and actually it looks like he may pick up and do some drops here.
Spooky says, tank count is the only thing that matters, guys. It's TVT. Come on. All right. You got me there. This Doom drop, though, is going to be pretty big one, man, especially if he splits it up, which is kind of looking like what he's going to do. 2 medevacs here into the 3rd and a single medevac up into the main, and this has the potential to be absolutely devastating here. It's going to kind of depend on the defense, obviously. Oh, again, Ninkazi is loading up a drop, and he might get caught off here. Or maybe they'll run into each other. That'd be favorable for him.
Oh, no, he's just fast enough. He said, look at that sneaky medevac, man. And then, these two down below. So I have to try.
Yeah.
Good luck, Funka. You'll have to try and keep an eye on all
Oh,
three
God.
of these drops.
All right,
They're
guys, you
making their way
ready?
across the map.
Here comes the
I know.
picture-in-picture. Nah, we don't have any fancy shit like that. This isn't the gauntlet, unfortunately. So into the natural first, the tank gets sieged up, and it just gets to start having its way here with this SCV line. The tank is unfortunately out of position, and he actually flies up into the main, too, completely ignores the third, and is able to start working on all the SCVs there, too. On the opposite side of the map, however, Ninkazi starts working in on the third base of Groovyman's, and I'm done, dude. That was hard to go.
It's pretty crazy now. We do see, okay, Ninkazi having to move his medevacs up into the main there. The drops of Groovyman continuing to be in both spots at once. This one tank from Ninkazi.
Oh, the full medevac! Oh, shit. Sorry to cut you off there, dude, but that was a pretty tense moment there in the game. It gets away just barely, but that was completely full there, man. My bad for yelling in your ear there, GIGGLEBEAR. I'm sorry. That was a tense moment.
Come over to the third, try and clean that out. That medevac does go down. The other medevac goes down, so these units now eventually will die as they can't stim forever. This one, oh my God, CC being repaired at 40 health.
Yes. Yeah, and meanwhile, behind that, Groovyman completely decimated Ninkazi's base. If you take a look at SCV count, it pretty much tells the story while we check in on Sheila. It's 4 SCVs to 64 SCVs. So we hate to rule a player out or whatever, but I mean, at this point, it's just a case of simple numbers. Groovyman was just able to do an insane amount of aggression and just defend all of the pressure. That's basically all you got to do. So this was immaculately played by him, and look at the upgrades too are about to kick in, as if he needed him at this point. But 133 to 32 supply, man, he just basically has to do a victory march at this point. That was very well played from Groovyman.
For sure. Ninkazi has a good amount of tanks, but just not really going to be able to do much beyond hold those siege positions.
Yeah.
Groovyman with the more mobile army for sure. He can drop, he can siege. And he's going to come into the third now with only one tank protecting this, and probably not going to be able to shoot at least for a while there. The third does go down. With that, again, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's just not going to be able to hold on here. So the third is actually forced to, well, it's actually gone now. I thought it just flew away, but it was actually down. And the second is on fire. So things are looking pretty grim here for Ninkazi. He's just going to tap out from there. So GG is called, and iGx will go 1 point up on the back. It's a pretty strong aggression there from Groovyman. That pincher attack just basically sealed the deal for him there, dude. That shit was